Spotlight on Frazee is sponsored by these community-minded businesses and organizations. Frazee Family Foods, what a hometown grocery store should be. Friendly staff, family-owned, and a wide variety of groceries to fulfill your needs. The City of Frazee and Frazee Event Center, featuring a 5,000 square foot room, a built-in stage, and a full-service bar, perfect for a multitude of events. Call or click to book your event.
Welcome to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm your host, Hank Ludtke, and I'm out here about 10 miles east of Detroit Lakes on the North Country Trail at a trailhead here with Tri-State Coordinator for the North Country Trail Association, Matt Davis. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Hank. How are you?
I'm tremendous. Sun's out. I can hear the birds. And it's getting to be that time of the year where we're going to be starting to look at work on the North Country.
Yeah, my family, we actually went out on our section of the trail in Itasca on Saturday, and we did our spring maintenance. So it's definitely that time of year.
I saw some of the pictures of that. It was good to see the kids out there doing that stuff. I tell you, it gives me a lot of faith in the youth.
Yeah, they got a good schooling in lopping trailside brush. Sometimes they didn't really like it, but at the end of the day, we could walk back and I could show them the fruits of their labor, and they could see how much better the trail looked after doing all that work. So I think at the end it was worth it, but they were grumbling a little bit.
Well, now that you're dealing with 3 states instead of 2, it's got to be quite a job for you now.
Yeah, I am spread a little bit more thin. For the last year or so, I've been covering the state of Wisconsin as well. And so I don't get to work as closely with all of the chapter volunteers as I used to because I'm just kind of focused more broadly. But it's got some new challenges. Wisconsin, they're doing a little bit more land acquisition for being able to complete the trail, get the trail on publicly owned land. So that's been kind of neat. And then, out in North Dakota, we got a brand new chapter at the far west end. So I've been spending some time with them, bringing them up to speed and getting some more work for them to get more trail on the ground.
So the one out west in North Dakota now, is that where's that from Turtle Lake?
It would encompass that area. The Central Flyway chapter is got folks from Minot, Bismarck, Harvey, and they're responsible for the trail from the western terminus at Lake Sakakawea State Park all the way to the eastern end of Lone Tree Wildlife Management Area. So about 130 miles of the trail, some of which is already done, and a lot of it's work that needs to happen. And some of the stuff that is existing, we want to make some upgrades. So lots of work to do.
I know some of it runs along the McCluskey Canal out there.
It does, yeah. The interesting stretch of the trail where you're following the Federal Water Project in North Dakota. So, a little bit of everything on the North Country Trail for sure.
Yeah, that one was, when they put in Garrison out there, that was a promise of water to eastern North Dakota that never happened.
Yep. Right now that ditch is sitting there, and you can hike alongside of it, and that might be the only public use for parts of it. Yep.
Yeah. And so, now like here with the Laurentian Lakes chapter, our local chapter, we have, about 68 miles of trail?
Yeah, I think it's about 70 miles of trail, yep. From Frazee up to Itasca State Park.
And, that's quite a bit, and I mean, there's some pretty rugged country out here.
There is, yeah. This chapter is kind of spans the farmland, forest land mix all the way up to the wilds of Clearwater County, where you're out there in the middle of nowhere, definitely.
Well, I know I went back in there that one time to look at one of the bridges, and it was pretty much up and downhill, real steep.
Yeah, Laurentian Lakes chapter area has got a lot of rolling hills because a lot of it follows the Laurentian Divide, so definitely some hilly country, for sure.
Yeah. But it's beautiful, and the interesting thing, of course, Laurentian Lakes, what it implies, we're on the high point, the divide.
Yeah, there's definitely some good views. There's one up west of Itasca where you're looking over towards Itasca, and then I'm pretty sure if you were on the fire tower by Itasca Lake, you can look back and see that same spot to the west. So yeah, it's pretty rare for this flat part of the country to get those high points, those dramatic vistas. Not quite the North Shore, but for this part of the world, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a long ways from being out on the Cheyenne grasslands.
That's for sure. Yeah, or in the Flat River Valley. Yep.
We'll be right back here. We're going to take a little break here, and we'll be right back with Matt Davis to talk more about what you can do for the North Country Trail Association. Welcome back. We're here at Spotlight on Frazee, out on the North Country Trail. with Matt Davis, Tri-State Coordinator for the North Country Trail Association. And Matt, like we talk about you and the kids out doing your section, we've got a lot of sections, and we've got a lot of older people that work on this, and we're looking for volunteers.
We are looking for volunteers, definitely. Yep, there's a role for just about everybody to play. You don't have to be young and strong. There's a contribution that can be made by just about anybody. Some of the work is behind the scenes. Some of the work is right here out on the trail, and folks can go on our website, click on the volunteer tab, and you can learn more information about what volunteers do. Basically, without volunteers, the North Country Trail wouldn't exist. It wouldn't be built in the first place, and then if we didn't maintain it by the volunteers out doing all that work, Mother Nature would quickly reclaim it, and the trail basically wouldn't be there anymore. So, yeah, we're definitely always looking for more volunteers. Chapters support those volunteers with training, with tools and equipment, safety. Safety is important for us, so we don't just send volunteers out. We kind of help them understand what they should be doing and how they can do that work safely.
Well, and I know we do have 2 trailers for the group, and we have a lot of equipment, and so that we can split our groups up now and work different areas. And then, over the years, we've used AmeriCorps and the CCM crews in the old days to help us build trails.
Yeah, we have. We can get a lot of grants for building new trail, and there's a lot of trail crews that we can hire that can help with that. There's less resources when it comes to maintenance. That's where we do really rely a lot on chapter volunteers. We can get some trail crews. Last year, 2020, Becker County actually did help out. The Laurentian Lakes chapter made a contribution to support the work because the chapter has equipment that it needs to maintain. It's putting money in an account to be able to maintain all the structures that it's built, the bridges and the punch-in, things like that. So we definitely appreciate Becker County's support. Hopefully this year they'll make another contribution. Really that money does go a long ways. Buying gas for the mowers, fixing chainsaws, fixing mowers, all that stuff, it adds up. And fortunately, we do have a great group of volunteers. But yeah, we're always looking for more.
Well, and I think we've been working on this segment now for like about 13 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Definitely. The time flies when you're having fun, right, Hank?
Yeah. Who would have ever thought, that we would be working on a 2-foot or 4-foot grass treadway through the woods in northern Minnesota.
Right. Yeah. But it's a neat project. We're just like the Appalachian Trail, and most people have heard of that. And here we are trying to build an Appalachian Trail right across northern Minnesota. So it's an opportunity for people who've always dreamed of one day hiking a long hike, to help make that possible for folks and themselves right here in their backyard.
And then, of course, in the past we've had our monthly outings, and I don't know what the situation is on that coming this year now.
Yeah, COVID did set us back last year. Pretty much all of our chapter activities, except for trail work days, were canceled. This year, chapters are eligible to do hikes again with restrictions, no more than 10 people on a hike. Or 10 people in a group on a hike. I don't believe the Laurentian Lakes chapter has figured out yet if it's going to do hikes again. It postponed its annual meeting, which is in January at Maple Log. It canceled it for this year, and it's not going to try and do it another time until next January. Hopefully by then we'll be back to normal again. So if folks want to go for a hike, they can kind of keep watching the chapter website, watching our Facebook page and our meetup group. And if the chapter does decide to do some hikes, they'll be posted there.
Well, that's great, and it's nice to get out here and listen to the wind blow through the pine trees and all this work. But we need more volunteers. And of course, without having our January fundraiser, that's one of our big fundraisers for our monies to help continue this. And we make probably the least impact of any trail in the country.
Yeah, definitely. You can see behind, it's just a primitive footpath, very minimal impact. Private landowners are actually pretty amazed at how easily we can put the trail across the landscape. And if you don't look hard enough, sometimes you can miss that it's even there.
Well, Matt, I really appreciate you being on the program and all the work that you do for us and keeping us informed and trying to keep this 3 states going. And how many states are we in?
The North Country Trail now is 8 states from North Dakota east all the way to Vermont.
Now, we're going to be connecting with the Appalachian Trail, right?
Yep, that was the extension into Vermont. Will now meet us up with the Appalachian Trail in the Green Mountains in Vermont. Yep.
So, boy, you can go for a long walk now. You can go for a walk for a few years.
Right.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, you bet.
And so with that, it's the end of our segment. And remember, pet the dog, hug the kids, kiss the wife, and wave at the neighbor. Because we'll catch you next week on Spotlight on Frazee.